battle passes, weekly challenges, rank modes, esports, streamers, TikTok, algorithm-based matchmakings. You know what all these words have in common? They all ruin competitive gaming. Be relatable with your audience. Checked. Look, I could complain all I want for hours about how predatory some of these free-to-play competitive games are. How they do social engineering to trick you into buying stuff you don't need and take advantage of clueless people and people with addictions. I think people call it marketing nowadays, I don't know. But if we remove the money factor of how hard or easy it is to get cosmetics, are they any fun? Well, that's what I'm here to talk about. But first of all, hola, I'm Ox, welcome or welcome back. Take everything I say in this video as what one guy says, cause I'm not here to unveil to you any secret truth of the industry or anything like that. I point it out cause there are some people that are allergic to hearing different opinions, so if you are one of those people, hey bro, I warn you. This game is the definition of dopamine rush. You play a character you love, you get hype about it, you play it for so long till you start feeling the dopamine that character gives you is running out, and then you try a new character and repeat the whole process. Out of all the competitive games I have played recently, this is the one that I'm best at, and at the same time, it's the one that I dislike the most playing on my own. Not because the matchmaking, even though it's terrible, never solo queue rank if you have some bit of self-esteem in you left, it's mostly cause I just find that so many heroes are annoying to fight against, and usually the solution to this issue is playing either overpowered characters that I find boring to play on the long term, or very hard counters in matches that I don't even wanna play in that moment in the first place. And yes, you can tell me that, nah bro, just get good. The thing is, due to how the game is balanced, you can be excellent with characters in matches and still be asked to swap cause there are characters that accomplish even more team necessities. And yes, I could be stubborn and not swap and earn my lose, or swap and try to win. This is obviously all talking about the rank mode. If you are a quick play warrior that takes it way too serious,
brother,
I can only speak for myself. But I don't really have an issue with people being good at the game. The problem is that most of the time these people in casual game modes, they are the ones that belittle the rest for not playing as good as them. But going back to Marvel, yeah, there are seasons I enjoy more, others less, but I cannot really take it seriously enough. It's good that they release a lot of content very often, but also that is gonna bring more problems in the long term. That being said, if you play with friends, this is still very fun. The characters and the art style is nice, and aside of some exceptions, has the best designs in Marvel characters in any media, and the no role queue it's more positive than negative. And I say this because, well, you will see it in a bit. And the ultimates have a lot of presence in every match, that most of the time it feels very satisfactory to use them, but also to stop the enemy ones. I suck at this game. Well, or at least I feel like I suck at this game. Which is funny considering I play this game on and off since 2016. But a lot has changed since then. It is now a different game from what it used to be. I also now play on my own compared to back then, and the most time I play it, I feel like I either struggle to get a win or just lose. Playing this game gives me a Heroes of the Storm deja vu, which is a game that is heavily team oriented, and it's not like you can't carry in Overwatch matches alone, but it's just less common than in other games. What I mean by this is that if either you or just one person on your team sucks, pretty much drags the entire team. And why is it harder to win because of this? Well, I blame the roll queue actually. Don't get me wrong, I like the ability to queue up as the character I want, and the roll queue makes the game less annoying overall cause letting the open queue gives the ability to people to create the most toxic and annoying comps to play against. But having a roll queue completely disables the ability to swap roles with that partner who is struggling in the match you are currently losing. Either way, I have to admit that I like this game a lot. The interactions between characters are funny, and the new progression system feels more rewarding to play, and also the variety of maps, and just the overall vibe of the game is low-key goofy for me to want to return each time. If anything, the thing that holds me back from playing more is that most people I know prefer to play Marvel Rivals, so I tend to go there instead, but with the current state of Overwatch, it's way more enjoyable for me nowadays. Every time a new hero comes out, I enjoy playing it no matter what role is, cause their kit is so unique that it encourages me to play it, and I think the game is in a great state, well, except for the bugs. There are so many bugs this season, I can't lie, because it does have different game modes for different types of people, that I never have issues finding a match at all in any of them. It's valid if you are still annoyed for the lack of PvE mode, but I highly recommend the game in its current state for casual playing honestly, and I have to admit, it seems that overall, most toxic people are playing other games nowadays, so that's always a plus. I assume what holds back most people that play Marvel to go back to Overwatch, apart from the old broken promises and so on, is probably how hard it is to play in comparison to Marvel. To put it simply, in Marvel Rivals, two people that are good with Winter Soldier will play Winter Soldier the same way, but in Overwatch 2, two people that are good with Cassidy will likely play him in two different ways. For the good and for the bad, characters are more complex and versatile. And Stadium? I don't know. I feel like it's a game mode that when I go with a character that I wanna play in mind beforehand and I can't pick it because someone else did it or it doesn't work, it's just very frustrating. And the victories in comparison to other games or game modes don't feel that satisfying to me either, so I usually avoid playing it, to be honest. Maybe just need more characters, who knows. This is the game that I probably feel the most disconnected with the community. Why? Well, for instance, a lot of people don't really use voice chat in this game. On top of that, I can only play solo most of the time and the experience would be quite similar. I think Fortnite is that type of game in which the constant content update is what also makes the game feel stay for a lot of the year. It's not because they don't take risks, but rather I think they do an excellent start of the season, but then they enter in a creativity drought, adding stuff that are just reskins of others more often and leaving some game modes unattended. But if I purely just talk about the Battle Royale modes, okay, this is funny, but I hate BRs in general except Fortnite. Why? Cause it's the most insidious one of them all. Like, I don't want other shooters like Battlefield 6 to become Fortnite by any means. I just enjoy Fortnite for what Fortnite is. A silly third-person shooter with a lot of marketing and metaverse collabs and a nice art style. As for how the game is played and whatnot, every season has its different weapons, and I feel like some seasons are harder than others cause the new weapons requires a certain time to adjust to like them or not. Depending on the season and the weapon, this in the past took me faster or till the end of the season, but matches in general tend to be short in any game mode you play. You want a longer experience with the idea of certain tension and vehicles, you play normal battle royale. You want a very fast paced but balanced experience with other people that are gonna be skilled probably even more than you and I, go play reload. You want an even faster experience that low-key it's getting harder to keep up sometimes cause even there are a lot of tryhards that just want to farm crowns. you go play Blitz mode. And sure, there are even lots and lots of maps of different game modes and so on, but I'm just focusing on those that have some sort of competitive shooter aspect. At the end of the day, I show you both reasons why I play these games and complaints I have with them, as well as putting the monetization factor on a side. Do I think these games can respect my time? Yeah, for the most part. Like, I can play them casually, try to get better at them, and they only feel like a second show if you are in the constant grind of the cosmetics or rank modes. Which is something funny considering that people lately have been talking a lot about how this type of games should be played just for the fun of them and not really for the monetization tricks. And I mean, don't you really think that you can have the willpower to not buy anything if that's a big issue for you and enjoy these games for what they are? Eventually, I also believe that if you play any of these games for long periods of times, or even all of them, it's inevitable you are gonna feel miserable some days playing them. It's a lottery sometimes. Sometimes you have the day where all your teammates decide to throw your matches for no reason. Others you have the day where all the kids esports wannabe are in your lobby and they don't let you play. It's something that you gotta keep in mind to see if that day it's worth for you to play or not. Anyhow, I hope you all like this video, and if you played any of these games or stopped playing them, let me know in the comment section below why, and I will see you in the next one.